Okay, future, we'll go with roofers. Roofers, it's a high need job. We are going to spawn apples in this video. So the very first thing is that we want to spawn apples randomly. So we are going to add in our random function over here. So we are going to get our private random, and we remember we used rand before. I am going to just even shorten it and just say r. We don't have anything that's around that, so we've got private random r. So r is now going to be our random. So we want to use random inside of our loop right here where we have the listener looking at this, because we are also going to need some input from that. So we're going to do new random, and now it is in our function. We named our variable. We're going to add it into our function over here. Cool. So where we actually want to spawn our apple is inside of the ticks. This is where we have our new body being added right here. We're adding our snake body. So we want to do the same thing, but for apples. So let's get into our apple spawn. We are going to say that if apples, my apologies, dot size is equal to 0, we don't have an apple on the screen. We are then going to need to spawn one. So how we spawn one of these, we want to spawn it randomly. So we are going to choose an integer on our x coordinate at random. So that equals r dot our next integer, because we are looking for our next random integer. And because we have sectioned it off into a bunch of blocks, we are going to section it. We are going to have it spawn right before our 50th block. And we'll do that in our x and in our y, so that we can have it spawn at a random location somewhere not on the perimeter if this is done correctly. And we'll have our x and our y. So now inside of this, when we spawn it, we need to call apple equals new apple, and we are going to have our x coordinate, our y coordinate, and then the size of the apple. That's what it takes as its input. And then we are going to say apples dot add. We're going to add this apple to our list. So apple. Cool. So now we have got apples added to the list over here. We're going to close that up. Let's compile this. We'll compile our main, and we'll see if we have got apples. We do. We have an apple. Woo! Forgive my bad playing. The frame rate is truly atrocious. But notice that it goes right through it. We do not have our apple disappearing yet. So we are going to start setting some of our boundaries and how we are going to make this snake grow. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.